name is Emily Munoz. I'm most recently of Boston, Massachusetts. I found out about special ops survivors during the first year after my husband's death, and it was truly a lifeline for me. I didn't know there was anything for me. I didn't know that I belonged anywhere. I didn't know that there would be anyone, a network of people. I spent the first few months after my husband's death going to other funerals, especially if it was a special operator. I went because I was looking for those people that I could help and that could help me, the people that would be my battle buddies, you know, for lack of a better word. And so once I realized that there was already this opportunity for people to connect through special ops survivors, it changed my outlook entirely. And the people that I met that first year have stayed with me as my true and dear and touchstone friends to this day, and I don't know where I'd be without them. Whenever I visit Arlington, the same thing happens. Like when you're a survivor and you visit Arlington, you walk through the sections and you see the headstones and you see the names behind the names. And I see my friends' names. Like, I can go through a roster, and it is like the most staggeringly beautiful, powerful, terrible family album that I've ever seen or been able to be a part of, but I'm so grateful.
No, I'm trying to think of how it went. So let me tell you the story real quick, and then all right, so my neighbor Jim was involved with the charity, and he mentioned me doing a bike for them. And at that point, I agreed to do it. They contacted me and said, would you be interested? Explained the charity to me, and I was kind of all about it. Normally, we build a bike that needs to represent us and what we build and our products. This bike has a different cause, something you know, unusual for us. And as we built it, we started feeling how important this charity is, and these soldiers that are the families of soldiers that are left behind. It started to have meaning as we built it. As far as what we normally do, this bike is built for a charity and a cause rather than just an advertisement.
What is unique and special about this organization is that it doesn't only want us to survive. It wants us to create new lives, truly empowered lives where we can feel proud of who we are. I think it's one of the strangest things that happens when you lose your spouse is that somehow this sense of self-respect and pride kind of erodes as well. And it doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't, but it happens a lot. And so this organization in particular has helped me make a life that I'm proud of again. It's the education grants alone that I've been given have ripple effects. It's paid for 500 hours of yoga teacher training for me, and I'm using it to help other survivors, to help veterans, to reach, have plans to, you know, reach other sort of disenfranchised populations, and it's all because this organization chose to say that when my husband's service was over, my life did not have to be over, and that when his importance to the country was no longer relevant, that mine still is, and I think that's all anyone really wants to know.
With this bike, we're going to deliver this bike to Sturgis, which is in a few weeks from now. I can't wait to see the expression on their faces when they see this bike. I hope they're impressed and happy. And then they are going to launch it at that point and start selling raffle tickets. Sacrifices that I make on a day-to-day basis are you sacrifice your time and maybe some of your personal relationships for your business and developing products and moving forward. And ultimately, you know, my shop full of people depend on me. So my sacrifices don't go unappreciated, but I'm not sacrificing my life. But the guys that do enable me to have the opportunity to make these sacrifices or not. I appreciate what they do. I'm not gonna die doing what I do. They can. And the families that are left behind need to be taken care of.
The way my father is, the Marine Corps never left him. Yeah, like it fit him well. So, you know, the way you handle, you organize yourself, the way you don't touch things. You know, when you go to a car show, you don't touch the car. If you do, you know, you're in trouble. That kind of thing. He's just, you know, and I think he was probably a respectful, black or white, right and wrong kind of guy from the beginning. But the military suited him well.
These men and women are always on the front lines waiting. And the missions that they're going on, you're never going to hear about because so many of them are so successful. And, you know, our safety, our deterrent, our national security rests on our ability to make sure that people believe that we can follow through. Keeping an organization like this alive really means that we can also, as a society, as a country, as a people, can follow through when the missions don't go the way that they're supposed to, or when there is a threat that's unanticipated. And, you know, we never know who's working on our behalf at any time, but we know they are. And for every person that's working on our behalf, there's a family or loved ones waiting and worrying. And this organization and others like it, this one in particular, lets them know that their loved ones will be okay. And I don't think there's any other way, any better way to be a patriot than to make sure that you know that people will take care of the people that you leave behind. You know, what happens is that you find community, or community in this case, Special Ops survivors found me, my sisters found me. You grow, you give back. That's a big part of it, you give back. You reach out, you keep going to funerals, you keep helping your sisters, you keep doing trauma yoga for veterans, you do whatever you can to do, because, you know, I realize there are two ways your heart can break. It can either like collapse and break inward, or it can break open and you can let people and things and organizations in.